Hey guys, this is Cyclehawk out on a sunny Saturday afternoon here in East Tennessee, getting in a little wind therapy, and oh my gosh, I am getting some extreme wind therapy. You can probably hear it on the microphone. I am getting some big old wind gusts, and I think the wind's somewhere in the 20 plus miles per hour, but you can definitely feel it, even though I'm on some of these back country roads and I'm not really even going that fast. But I was going to talk to you today about a new little project that I have been working on, but I'm afraid that it may just be too loud while I'm riding. So what I'm going to do is take you back to the garage and we can talk about it there, and I'll show you what I did. Don't know if it can help anybody, but maybe to give somebody an idea to do some modifications on their bike on an extreme budget. So hang loose and stick around and check it out. So here's what the standard foot peg looks like on the 2005 Suzuki Boulevard C90. These are not very comfortable, and if you're familiar at all with the Suzuki Boulevards, if you have one, you know that the passenger pegs sit up very high, and unfortunately you can't lower it at all because you got the mufflers right underneath on the right side. So, but I wanted to come up with something more comfortable for my wife when she's riding. So I ordered some footboards off of Amazon. And these footboards actually match pretty well with the driver footboards in design. So I thought, okay, these would be great. And so what happens is they come with a little mount like this that you go. But as you can see, I've had to do some modifying. So what happened was this width was wider than this width. So I had to grind down this side and this side until I got the width right. Also, the hole when it came in was too small, so I had to drill it out. Third thing is, when you go to put it in, you can notice I've got some spacers taped on here right now. That was just to kind of get some placement, because the location of this hole and back here, it was sitting the footboards down too far. So I was actually going to put some weld on the back side here and build that up to where it would sit flat. But the problem is with these is when you put these in here, it sits the footboard, the foot level is actually an inch or so higher than the original. And I'm like, well, that just kind of makes things worse because the sitting position is so terrible. So when I started looking at this and so I took this apart. Took these screws out. Okay, I noticed that there was just this metal plate inside. When I started thinking, initially I thought, well, if I could somehow modify this and weld that plate on there, then I could sit this thing much lower down and have it attached using this. But then I didn't want to destroy, in case I wanted to go back to the foot pegs, I didn't want to destroy all of this. So the first thing I did is, sorry, I already did this off camera. There was a little bit of lip here, and I cut that lip off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to notch out this section right here, where this will sit like so. And then I'm going to cut these off here, and I'm going to make this thing mount like this, and that'll put it down much lower and make it sturdy. So this is the process, and this is what I'm going to do. And then I've decided though that I'm going to actually cut a little piece of plate, drill and tap that plate, weld the plate on so that I can keep this intact. So then I would screw this down to the plate, but then if I want to remove these, I take them off, put that back on, and so now I have foot pegs. Unscrew 2 screws, put it back in, and I can have footboards. So let's see how it goes. Okay, now that I've got this cut off, I'm gonna go back and clean this up, clean that up. But the point is, I'll use this for an example until I can go cut the metal. Now this thing, or a piece of metal, could be welded there, and this will bolt on like so. And what this will do, as you can see here, how much further down, and I measured, and it is at least an inch lower than it was going to be. So when you've got a foot position and you've got your feet, an inch is going to make a big difference. So now we're going to take it over to my fab shop. I'm going to cut some steel bar, drill and tap the holes here, and then we'll go from there and see what we come up with. We've got this welded on now. As you can see, I'm a terrible welder, and but it'll work. Now we're going to screw this down. Find my holes. There. Screw this down. Tighten this up. And let's put it back on the bike and see how they work. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. So I wanted to give you a little bit of view of how they work. See how I feel like, see, it's like they match pretty well with the bike, and I think they look pretty good. And so maybe this is some mod that you know, some of you guys might be interested in using. I just think that it might be completely unnecessary, or some feel that way, but I think it was worth taking some time to do. Thanks a lot.